Hi guys. In our second video today, we're going to be focusing on solving equations that have a natural log written in the original equation. This again will be kind of a repeat of actually a lesson we did earlier this week and prior to spring break, where we were solving equations that had logs in them. But instead of a log, it's going to be a natural log. So let's get started. Because this is a continuation from our first video, I'm starting on example number 4. So in this problem, I am asked to solve for x, and it has a natural log. So anytime that you have a problem that has a log in the original question, at some point in time, you're going to want to wheel it out and change it from logarithmic form to exponential form. For this question, we're going to go ahead and do the wheel right now. Like it's already in logarithmic form, let's go ahead and just change it to exponential. Don't forget that a natural log has a base of e. And so when I do the wheel, I'm going to do e to the power of 2 equals x. E to the power of 2 equals x. Now, because we're using the number e in these problems, it can get a little bit confusing because we're going to have 2 letters written in the problem. And so we might forget like which letter we're solving for and which letter is actually a number. So what I like to do sometimes in these problems is I'll pull out a different color and I'll write the letter x in a different color so that I can very clearly see like I am solving for x. I'm trying to get the x by itself. I'm not solving for e. I literally can't solve for e. E is a constant number. It doesn't change. It's not a variable. So I want my x to be by itself. Now the x is already by itself, which means we're done. This is the answer. This is called the exact answer, or we called it last time calculator ready. Sometimes the directions will say leave it in terms of e, or leave it in terms of natural log, which is the video we'll do tomorrow. But so this is an answer to the problem. You can just leave it as e squared. Now, if the directions ask you to round, then you would want to type that into your calculator. And I've shown you a couple other times how to type this into your calculator. So you want to do second and then the LN button. And that automatically does e to a power. You don't even have to hit the exponent button, like it's already there. And then I hit 2 because it's e squared. And just like last chapter, we're still in the same chapter, we're going to round to 3 numbers after the decimal. So I got 7.389. 7.389. Now, both of these are considered answers. Again, we have our exact answer and our decimal rounded answer. And so you want to get into the habit of writing both of them on your homework. And then when you're doing your Delta Math, just read the directions carefully and see, does it want it in the exact answer form or does it want me to round? All right, let's try another one. So on this problem, again, it's already in logarithmic form. I am taking the natural log of that entire parentheses, the 3x plus 5 squared. And so I could right now do the wheel. I'm going to put my little e underneath my natural log so that I remember it's e to the power of 4 equals this whole thing. Now here it's a little bit more relevant to make that x a red letter x so that I can very clearly see, hey, I'm trying to get this thing alone. So in this problem, I need to get rid of the 3, the 5, and the squared. The square right now is kind of trapping everything else. It's forcing everything else to stay together. So the first thing I want to get rid of is the square. And to get rid of a square, we square root. And then don't forget, whenever you square root, you have to put a plus or minus in front of it. The square root of e to the 4th is e squared. Remember, we take our exponent and we divide it by the index. 4 divided by 2 is 2. Okay. Again, I want to get my red letter x by itself. The next thing I'm going to move is the plus 5. I'm going to subtract it to the other side. For me, the least confusing place to put that negative 5 is in front of the plus or minus sign. This looks very natural to me. A number plus or minus another number. And finally, I'm going to divide everything by 3. Now, when you divide the side with the adding and subtracting by 3, you can either make a ginormous division bar, or you can divide each thing individually. The 5 and the e can both be divided by the 3, but you do have to divide everything by 3. This is my exact answer. My letter x is now by itself, and so this would be my exact or calculator ready answer. When you're typing this into your calculator, you're going to have to type it in twice. And anytime you're typing in a large fraction like this, I would suggest typing in the numerator, hitting the equals button, and then typing in the denominator. So I am going to do -5 plus e squared equals, and I got 2.389, so. And then now after I hit the equals button, now I'm going to hit divided by 3, and then I'm going to hit equals again. And that gives me my first decimal, which is 0.796. And then to get that second decimal, I go back to the beginning, -5 minus e squared, and I got -12.389, so on and so on and so on. And then I divide that by 3, and then that gives me my second decimal, which is already on the screen, -4.130. So make sure that you're doing it both twice, and then these are both considered answers. So we have our exact answer in terms of e, and we have our decimal rounded answer. All right, we've got one more example for today. In this example, it is not in logarithmic form right now because I've got this extra 3 in front of my log. That 3 is being multiplied with the log, so I can move it by dividing. So I'm going to divide by 3 first. Now I can do the wheel and use my calculator. So just everything that we've learned before still applies. You have numbers that are not attached to the log. You've got to move them first. Once you have it in logarithmic form, do the wheel. And then this time, because of the letter E, we will have an exact answer in terms of E and also a decimal answer. So 2 forms for every problem. This concludes all of our videos for today.